Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. I'm your anchor today, bringing you a summary of the latest news from around the world. In a tense standoff between Iran and the U.S., tensions are running high in the Middle East. The ongoing naval blockade and war in Yemen have led to concerns about supply routes, economic choke points, and potential escalations. Tonight, we'll take a closer look at the developments in the Strait of Hormuz, recent statements from key officials, and what it means for geopolitics. Let's dive into tonight's news. Following tensions between Iran and the United States over maritime security, a critical region is at the center of a brewing conflict escalation. Iran has issued a strong warning that any U.S. intervention in the Strait of Hormuz would be considered a breach of ceasefire. This comes after U.S. President Donald Trump announced an operation to escort ships stranded in the strategic waterway. The statement was made by Ebrahim Azizi, head of the Iranian parliament's National Security and Foreign Policy Committee. Iran has been enforcing a maritime regime in the Strait of Hormuz since 2019, following a series of incidents involving oil tankers and U.S. naval vessels. The regime restricts access to the waterway for certain countries, including the United States. However, with the recent announcement by Trump, the U.S. is seeking to assist ships that are being held up by these restrictions. Azizi's warning suggests that any attempt by the U.S. to intervene in this situation would be seen as a violation of the ceasefire agreement between Iran and other regional actors. This could potentially escalate tensions between the two countries and affect global oil supplies. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical waterway for international shipping, with over 20% of the world's oil passing through it. The incident highlights the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and Iran, which have been heightened in recent years following a series of conflicts in the Middle East. The situation also raises concerns about the impact on global energy markets and potential disruptions to supply chains. As the situation develops, it will be important to monitor developments and assess their implications for regional stability and international trade. As tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to escalate, a top advisor to Supreme Leader Khamenei has made a critical response to recent comments from former President Trump. Tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to escalate as senior Iranian officials dismiss threats made by U.S. President Donald Trump. According to Ali Akbar Velayati, a key advisor to Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei, Trump's remarks demonstrate a lack of understanding of the global economic and political situation. Velayati stated that Iran remains in control of critical economic routes, including those linked to the Strait of Hormuz, which is a major hub for global food security and fertilizer supply chains. He warned that any attempt to disrupt these supply chains would have severe consequences, likening it to tampering with the world's lifeline. The comments come as Iran prepares to mark National Persian Gulf Day, a celebration of the region's unity and resilience. Supreme Leader Khamenei has said that recent developments in the war involving the U.S. and Israel will shape a new regional and global order. Velayati also pointed to declining U.S. influence, citing troop withdrawals from Europe, challenges within NATO, and technical issues affecting U.S. naval forces. He believes these developments demonstrate a loss of confidence among Western powers and a shift in the balance of power in the Middle East. The situation remains volatile, with Iran setting a one-month deadline for the U.S. to end its naval blockade and withdraw troops from the region. The standoff has significant implications for global energy markets, food security, and regional stability. As tensions continue to rise, it remains to be seen how the U.S. will respond to Iran's demands and whether the country can maintain its grip on critical economic routes. Following a recent escalation of tensions between Iran and the United States, we take a closer look at Tehran's latest demands to Washington. Iran has issued a one-month deadline for negotiations on a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, end a U.S. naval blockade, and permanently end the war in Iran and Lebanon. According to reports, Tehran submitted a 14-point revised proposal to Washington just days after it rejected an initial draft of the agreement. The proposal includes strict conditions, including a one-month timeline for securing a deal covering maritime access, ending the U.S. naval blockade, and a lasting ceasefire on both fronts. The document also envisions a second phase focused on the nuclear program, with additional negotiations launching after an initial deal is sealed. U.S. President Donald Trump has expressed skepticism about the proposal, stating he believes Iran has not yet paid a big enough price for its actions over the last 47 years. He characterized the U.S. naval blockade as a very friendly and uncontested measure, which contradicts his claim that hostilities have been terminated. The situation is complex, with tensions between the U.S. and Iran escalating in recent months. The Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway for global oil supplies, has been under blockade since 2019 when the U.S. withdrew from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA. The blockade has had significant economic implications for Iran and its allies. The negotiations come at a critical time, with the Biden administration seeking to stabilize the region and prevent further escalation. A successful agreement could lead to improved relations between the U.S. and Iran, while failure could exacerbate tensions and have far-reaching consequences for global security. As global tensions escalate, our fourth story explores a concerning trend, where conflicts are crippling economic lifelines, sending shockwaves through international relations and trade. The Strait of Hormuz has become one of the most critical chokepoints in global trade, with the Iran war and blockade having a profound impact on the world economy. The narrow waterway, which connects the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea, is home to an estimated 20% of the world's oil supply, making it a crucial artery for international commerce. However, the recent tensions between the U.S. and Iran have effectively closed off the strait, with Iranian forces broadcasting threats to any vessel attempting to pass through. The blockade has sent fuel prices skyrocketing, affecting not just the Middle East, but also countries around the world that rely on imported oil. The consequences are far-reaching, with many countries relying on imports of fossil fuels, fertilizers, and other critical commodities. According to Ike Fryman, a Hoover Fellow at Stanford University, a good chunk of the global economy is being affected by this choke point. The blockade has significant implications for geopolitics, as it highlights the vulnerability of modern global trade to military pressure. As tensions between major powers escalate, the risk of an enemy pressing down on a country's economic choke points is increasing. This raises questions about the stability and security of international commerce, and whether the current order can withstand the challenges posed by rising nationalism and great power rivalries. With the U.S. and Iran locked in a bitter standoff, the Strait of Hormuz has become a focal point for global attention, underscoring the need for diplomatic solutions to prevent a wider conflict that could cripple the global economy. According to recent reports, a crucial claim about a dramatic incident involving American and Iranian naval vessels has been made by a high-ranking U.S. official. According to U.S. officials, a recent report claiming that Iran hit a U.S. Navy ship near the Strait of Hormuz was entirely false. The Jerusalem Post reported that a U.S. official confirmed this denial on Monday afternoon, stating that no U.S. ship had been hit. This comes after multiple reports from Iranian news agencies claiming that 2 missiles had struck a U.S. naval frigate near Jask port, forcing it to turn back. Iran has repeatedly made similar claims of attacking U.S. ships in the region over the past few months, including an incident involving the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier in early March. In response, CENTCOM issued statements denying these reports, stating that the missiles launched didn't even come close. This latest incident is significant because it highlights tensions between the U.S. and Iran in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway for international trade. The U.S. Navy has been escorting commercial vessels through the strait since January 2020 as part of Operation Freedom Sentinel. Iranian officials have warned that this escort operation constitutes a violation of the ceasefire, and that any foreign military forces attempting to enter or approach the strait will be attacked. This warning was reiterated by Iran's Unified Command of Armed Forces on Monday, which stated that the security of the Strait of Hormuz is under the control of the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The IRGC's Navy has also released a new map of their claimed area of control in the strait, although it is unclear if this marks any significant change. That's all for today's recap. We'll continue to bring you updates on the Middle East tensions and global implications of the Iran-US conflict. If you'd like to stay up to date on breaking news, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.